All right, guys, we're gonna get started here. It is 12:01. Sorry, I'm a minute late. We're getting everything set up. Right, welcome to the Rebuilt Nutrition Seminar. This is the first time I'm giving this, so it might go a little fast. But first, what we're gonna start with is a background on me. We'll go into some facts on everything for nutrition, a couple diagrams, and then we'll do somebody's macros together and see how that goes, okay? So right, me, I did start off at 301 pounds, at least that's the last time I can recall like stepping on a scale, and that was in August of 2009 before my best friend's wedding. We were looking for dresses, I stepped on the scale that was in the bridal shop and saw 301. It wouldn't be until December of 2009 that I decided to start losing weight, so I could have been a lot heavier by then. So December of 2009, I decided to start losing weight. It took about 2 years for me to get the weight off. And it was not in a healthy way, okay? I exercised off more calories than I was putting into my body at some point, and I would flip yo-yo diet and everything like that. In 2015, I decided to go, 14 going into 15, I decided to go into the Air Force, which meant I had to be to their standards, right? So for my height, I had to be 155 pounds. I was 165 pounds when I lost all the weight, and that's where my body sits comfortably, is at 165 pounds. So I had to be 155. So of course I would take dieting to a whole new level, and I would do it the same way I've kept doing it. I just more calories on exercising machines and all cardio, and I was consuming the same 1,200 calories, okay? A couple days before I was supposed to go in and weigh in, they told me I had to drop another 5 pounds. I, at this point, was exercising 3 times a day for 3 hours a day on cardio machines and still only putting 1,200 calories into my body. When I left for basic, I was pretty much just skin and bone, and I was losing my hair. All right, I was only 25. I should not be losing my hair at 25 years old, okay? From there, I would get through basic, go to tech school, and I would find that I didn't want to end up like this again. So I got a bodybuilding coach. The thing with bodybuilding is it's very strict, and I developed like an even worse relationship with food. If I ate off of my diet, I punished myself for it, and that continued for about 10 years. It wasn't until I decided that I wanted to become an Air Force pilot and then switch over to the Army that I started eating differently because I started CrossFit. So I decided to give up bodybuilding because it was too strict. I didn't have enough fuel for my brain to be able to test and do all the things that I need to do. So I started CrossFit. From that point, I started eating differently. I would gain weight because I started on my own, and I got up to 190 pounds. I would get my own nutrition coach from there for performance, and that's when I started to get like a better relationship with food because I understood exactly how it's supposed to do it. And then I would also start my own education on food in general, okay? So at that moment, I moved here to Louisiana, and I decided I went into the Army recruiter, and they told me that at my height, I had to be 143 pounds. There was nothing else. I couldn't do it. 143 pounds, that was it. They would go and tape me to see if my BMI was any different, but it wasn't. So they told me I had one choice. I either lose my muscle so that I bring my waist down, or I just don't go into the military, right? It was then that I made the decision that I've fit myself into a box for so long for other people, I can't do it anymore. I love the way I look now. I'm strong, and I'm able to pass their PT test with 100%. That's not enough, though. I have to be at that weight. So that's when that dream died, and I ended up picking up nutrition full time. I love it. So that's a little bit about me. My biggest thing on this slide is that at the bottom there, I will never ask a client to do something that I haven't done myself. So I've yo-yo dieted, I've done them all. I can promise you the best way to eat is balanced, okay? Slide. So, facts of fat loss, right? I'm not gonna sit here and read all of these off. I'll let you guys read most of them. But right, you can't out-train poor nutrition, right? If your body doesn't understand that fuel is coming in, it is not going to give you the output that you want, okay? Fat loss requires a calorie deficit. It does not require that calorie deficit to be 500 calories, okay? We can lose it slowly, and we'll go from there. Muscle does require enough food, right? 1 gram per pound of body weight. I will always stick with that. That is your bare minimum, okay? If you want to keep your strength, and endurance and start moving into fat loss, that's the way to go, okay? CrossFit burns a lot, but that doesn't guarantee fat loss, all right? CrossFit gives you your stimulus. Your nutrition is going to determine your results, okay? Protein, non-negotiable, right? It's my biggest thing. Again, like we said, too large of a deficit is going to hurt your performance, and then you're not going. Most of us in here, well, all of us, attend CrossFit classes, okay, or some kind of functional fitness class. We like putting our performance into sugar WOD and seeing it get better and getting better and enough, okay? Consistency beats extremes, right? You can step on the scale and want to lose 10 pounds and do it in a week. I'm telling you, it's not going to stay off. It'll come back on, and you'll probably double that weight that you just took off, okay? Recovery is massive. Sleep plus nutrition will determine whether your workouts continue to get better and you continue to get better, okay? Training intensity drops when fuel drops, right? So after you're done with your workouts, making sure that you start that recovery process as soon as possible is going to help you over the long run. And then the last one, which we'll go into the next slide, is aesthetics follows performance, okay? Slide. So our next slide, nutrition. Most people come into CrossFit. This is the CrossFit pyramid, and what's on the bottom? Nutrition, right? Most of us don't think about it until we get 2 to 3 months in here, and then we're like, well, I'm not seeing any changes. Why is that? It's probably because our nutrition is a little bit off, okay? Slide. So why nutrition is important for CrossFitters, right? Like I said, you will start to see these first. This is what you're going to start feeding first. Fuel for high intensity. Randomly, for whatever reason, you're going to get on the bike one day and after fueling your body, and you're going to be like, why am I going so fast? Why am I going for so long? Like, it's just your nutrition. Faster recovery between sessions, strength output, work capacity, hormonal support, injury prevention, and consistency in training. These are all of the things that you are going to see first, and they will come within the first couple of days when you start your nutrition, okay? After that, months into it is when you're going to start seeing the aesthetics, right? You're going to start seeing yourself lean out, and it's going to stay that way, okay? Slide. So the last pyramid is my pyramid, right? Calories. We start with the calories. We got to make sure we're eating enough first, and then we're going to go into protein, and then carbs, fats, and then supplements, and everything's at the bottom, okay? So I did go quite fast, as we are only 8 minutes here. Sorry. This was not meant to be very long. I don't like to sit here, and I know none of you want to. Are there any questions before we get into the math portion of it, though? No? Okay.
I have a question, Gary.
Yeah.
Because I've had this question come to me a few times. Like, if someone is overweight, they're not happy with their weight where they're at, should they still follow that 1 gram of protein per pound of body fat, or should they follow the body or the goal that they have of, say they're 200 pounds, they want to get down to 180? Should they be having 180 grams of protein?
Nope, I would start at the 200. Yep, we can always take it down from there if we need to. And it's also different between men and women, right? And that's what we'll get into when we start doing calories and all of the math for it, okay? So, math. Trisha, you got your phone on you? All right. She's gonna be my math. I can't calculate and write at the same time. Okay, so we have to figure out our calories, right? So, calories is gonna be body weight times 14. So we're going to do 14 times I am 165 gives us
2310.
2310. So that's how much I should be eating in calories a day, okay?
So without training or with the training?
Both. Yep. So it'll vary. The only thing that changes normally is your protein a little bit, but even on your off days, you should be eating this because your body needs to recover.
Okay, so for example, like my body calories, like average metabolism is like 2200, and if I do the CrossFit, it will be around 3200, 3100. So in this case, I should be eating 3100 calories or just 2300 calories?
Say it again, sorry.
So while I'm on the race day, my calories are like 2200.
Yep,
And when I do the CrossFit, it will go up by thousands, like 3200.
Yep.
So in this case, I should be eating 2300 or 3200 calories.
well, this is for me.
Okay.
So we're doing me as an example.
Okay, got it.
Yes, I'm just the example person, yep. Okay, so after that, we need to figure out protein. 14, so right, there's a scale out there that recommends, depending on if you're a sedentary or you're a CrossFitter, depending on that is what the number is. For CrossFitters, it's 14. Yep, so if you sat all day long and didn't do anything, it would be a 10.
Do you
Yep.
have like an example of how many times you work out a week? Because like you could be a CrossFitter but only work out twice a week.
So for this number, we're looking to 4 to 5 WODs per week. You're in here for 4 to 5 classes a week. Yes.
So if that's how much it is, our body weight times 14 is how much we should be eating. If we want to lose weight, are we supposed to eat that body weight times 14?
We'll get into that. Yep. Yes.
I don't want to eat what I'm eating.
So everything will be at the end. I'll give you guys a ton of, and I'll go through specifically what you need to do. A lot of yours is just going to be more carbs. Okay. So for our protein, because that's the next one we got, is going to be, well, 1 gram per pound of body weight. I'd say 1.2 times body weight. So we're just going to stick with the 1 for now. So that is giving me 165 grams of protein, okay? Now, we don't stop here though, right? So there are 4 calories, because we have to figure out how many calories we need. There are 4 calories per gram of protein. So 165 times 4 gives me...
165 times 4 is 660.
Is what?
660.
660. So those are how many calories are coming from protein, okay?
Are you comfortable with 4?
I'm sorry? Yep. Everybody still tracking with me so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm trying to put these in different colors so they're... Next thing we got it up is the carbs. So right, we're gonna go 1.5 times body weight. So 1.5 times 165 for me is going to be?
Go ahead, Craig, you got it in your head? 247.5.
247. Close. All right, and then of course that one we have to times it by 4 because there are 4 calories per a gram of carbs, okay?
990.
990. Okay, so, and then the last one we have is going to be our fats. So that is 0.5 times body weight. So we're going to do 165 times 0.5.
82.5.
82.5. Now here's the kicker. It goes up to 9 calories per a gram of fat, okay? So 9 times 82.5? Yeah.
742.5.
742?
Yeah, 0.5.
Okay. So these are all of the calories that are going to go into it. Okay, now I got one more for you, Trisha. Okay. Now I need you to add these calories all together and tell me what the total is. $2,392.5? So, right? So I'm not far off, right? I'm off by what? 82.5 calories from what I need to be eating. Is there any questions on this specifically, how I got to these numbers?
Just from the last 4 to 7.5 calories, is that the standard number or does that change with, where'd you get the simple?
So it's 9, oh, sorry. My bad. You're timesing it by 9 to get to 742.5. 165, yeah. Sorry, that was my bad. I was just going too fast. Okay, is there any questions on this specifically? Does anybody want to take a picture of it? I'm not going to erase it, but if anybody wants to take a picture of it. Okay, so this is just a general recommendation for you for people that do 4 to 5 classes a week, right? We're going to, now, this is for me. Yours is going to be different because you weigh different, right? Weight, how you're getting your weight. It is best to do it in the morning. I say in the morning, I mean when you get up from sleeping. So whether you sleep at night or you sleep during the day because you work at night, completely different, right? Whenever you get up from sleeping, you go to the bathroom, you step on the scale, and you step on the scale in the same thing every single time. So I do mine in shorts and a t-shirt. So whether I'm in shorts and a t-shirt from sleeping, I put shorts and a t-shirt on, and then I step on the scale. So that way I am getting the same number all the time. You get an in-body done. I recommend wearing the same thing every time. What you see I have on right now is what I wear even if it's super hot out. I get an in-body done, I'm in this, okay? Any questions on weighing yourself or anything like that?
I have a different question. So for all of these, like grams that you given for us to eat, do we have to eat all of those every day? Like, is that gonna throw things off? That's a lot.
It is a lot, right? So now let's talk, let's,
And then I have another one, carbs, right? That's a whole nother like stipulation too. I've always been told carbs are bad.
right, yeah. So, right?
We don't eat that many carbs.
Yes, so now, say I am only eating currently 1,800 calories a day and only 100 grams of protein. What I'm going to focus on first is the protein. So I am going to start by getting that protein number up to 165. So if I'm only eating 100, maybe I up it by 25 grams for 2 weeks. I let that settle into my body understands that that's what it's going to get from here on out, and then I raise it again. And then I raise maybe a little bit more again to hit 165, okay? And then after that, we'll start with the carbs. Okay, I can tell you right now, everybody's a little different, and I'll show you right here. This is what I currently eat, okay? So as you can tell, I don't eat exactly what I was supposed to eat for the board on the back. 192 grams of protein, because when I started, that is the amount of protein I ate, because I ate 1 per gram of body weight, right? So I was 192 pounds when I started this. So I kept that the same. My fats, they were at 100. We got them down to 60. 60 is where I like to sit, okay? I just like 60. The only thing I normally ever touch is my carbs, and it goes up and down depending on what I'm doing. So currently, I'm training for a weight training. I do running, I do CrossFit, I do all of that right now. So it's, most of the time it's 385. There's some days I hit 450 grams, okay? My body, I still sit 165 pounds. The scale doesn't go anywhere. I love the way I look. Like, when we get there is the question, right? So, start with the protein. Make sure we get that one up to the number we need it to be. We'll go to carbs, and then the fats. And you need to take notes on how you feel. If you don't feel good on 82 grams of fat, maybe you need to bring it down, okay? But this is where it gets tricky for everyone, because everybody's just a little bit different.
If you're back to 100, eventually down to 60, what were those feelings that you're talking about that you're like, I feel good at 60 grams?
So I instantly started to tighten up. Instantly. Like, I didn't feel bloated. There was no more inflammation.
Did you ever go below 60, or did you just work your way down?
Nope. 60 was where I sat. If I go below 60, I start to lose sleep.
When you were going down to 60, were you adding those calories somewhere else, like into proteins?
So they would be going into, so they would be going into my carbs. Yep. Yep. Any other questions?
I think this would be helpful. Could you give like 2 examples per macro of what type of foods the protein should be, the carbs should be, the fat should be?
Yeah, so unfortunately I'm going to go very bodybuilder-ish, okay? So you're looking chicken breast, chicken, to be honest. I like chicken thighs. Understanding like what you eat, if you can consistently get it in, is what's going to be best for you. So I do chicken thighs, I do 93.7 or 93.7 ground beef, venison, pretty much any lean protein. Carbs, rice, sweet potatoes, any kind of rice. What you like, brown rice, white rice, jasmine rice, sushi rice, pick it, stick with it. And then fats, right? Peanut butter is a big one for me, and cashews. I make money now, so I can eat cashews and not almonds. Almonds get real tiring. Yeah, real fast. Any other questions?
What, I've always been told, like small meals more often. Do you still recommend like eating 5 to 6 times a day?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, so most women should be eating, depending on the size, 3 to 4 times a day, maybe 5. And most guys should be eating 5 to 6 times a day. Yep.
And then, let's say like, when I've done like meal prep in the past, I kind of get sick of like the same meal 2 weeks ago. It's like, is it bad to go from like 2 weeks doing ground turkey and then doing like 2 weeks chicken?
Nope.
No.
Nope, and you can vary that by day too if you want. If you want to make a big thing of beef, a big thing of chicken, get it. First of all, a rice cooker. I got one for myself for Christmas and absolutely fell in love with it because rice is just ready. I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Where's it been all my life? That way the rice stays the same, but however I made the beef, however I made the chicken, it's just going to be a little different. And so maybe I'll take 1 and 1 each day. I'll take 2 ground beef, 2 chickens. Who knows?
Do you track your sodium? Sorry. No, you're sorry.
I don't. I try to get in as much as I possibly can.
Lots and lots of salt?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I told you it's really bad for you.
Yep. The more you sweat, the better it is for you. Yep.
Is there like I've also heard something about if you eat too late at night, that's really bad for you too.
Absolutely not.
See, I don't like
Now, so the issue is are we eating everything at once is the issue. Because that's the thing. So, yes, so that is the main thing, but your body has to trust that you're going to give it food, right? So your body will put out more in a workout if it knows it's going to get something in the end. That it's like, oh, she's going to feed me at the end of this workout. Let's go. Like,
I don't know if this is somewhere else in the talk, but like if you want to work out in the morning, do you suggest a certain breaking of, or do a certain type of food, a certain amount of food?
So
afterwards?
normally it depends on how your schedule flows and what works for your body, really. I eat oats and protein powder right in the morning and can go right into a workout. Some people cannot. Some people need maybe a bread of some sort, a banana, any kind of fast carbs. So you're thinking bananas, applesauce, preferably not candy.
Right. Well, when you're finished with the workout, I'd imagine you need to fuel,
Yep.
you need to do something after workout as well, even if you ate before.
So you're looking Gatorade. Still, you can go with applesauce. That's when you could do a couple pieces of candy if you really wanted to. And then making sure that you get that protein in as soon as you guys are done so that your body can start repairing yourself, because like most of us, we either have jobs, kids, we have something to do we're going to, and we forget to eat. And then our bodies forget about our own bodies.
Along those lines, what's like time domain before and after? So right, like I work out at 5:15, hard for me to eat a full meal. And then afterwards, is there a specific amount of time right after where you want to get a meal in? Because like I'll go home, I'll shower, then I eat at work. Is that too late?
You are verging on too late for that, especially because you don't get so much in the morning, but that's specific to you, right? So I would recommend finding some way of getting your protein in right after, and then figuring out exactly what time your body can eat every single time.
Does it matter protein from supplement versus protein from like meat as far as directly after? Like is that? So I mean, I drink a protein shake, but is it different for my body, one versus the other?
So protein shake is going to hit you a lot faster, especially if it's an isolated protein. It's going to hit you a lot faster because your body is depleted of carbs, so it's going to go straight to it. You could eat just tuna or chicken if you truly wanted to. It depends also how satiated you are after a workout. If you want to eat, some people, when I was overweight, I had to eat something. I couldn't drink something because it helped my mind that I was actually eating something. So, yes. So your body can only digest so much. And when I say a majority of your calories, I'm talking, so if you're eating 2,300 calories, you eat a meal that's 1,500 calories, right? Your body isn't going to have enough time to digest all of that for you to go to sleep. You're going to start burning up and get really hot, and you won't fall asleep. You won't sleep very well. Yes. Yeah.
So we should break up that amount of calories into like 4 to 5?
4 meals. For most women, just start with 4 meals. Yep.
Is there trying to quantify that, like an hour before bed, 2 hours before bed, like when should the eat stop?
Normally I go an hour. Yep. It also depends on how fast you fall asleep too, right? Everybody's a little bit different in that way. I have a protein shake before I go to bed. So, right, I eat my last meal at 5. Don't judge me on my bedtime. I eat my last meal at 5. And between 5 and 6, I have my protein shake at 7, and I go to bed at 8 o'clock. Okay? You want to make sure that you have enough calories going into the night, because that's when your body's going to repair itself, right? And it's going to wake up. Most of you will probably start, if you track your nutrition, start waking up hungry and ready to eat something. Okay?
I hear these guys across the highway, and their complaint is they work all day. So what do you recommend for them?
So it truly is.
Like, for me, whatever being a cop, it's just hard to stay on a consistent schedule. 'Cause, like, I can come in at 1 o'clock,
Yep.
and I'm running the gun until literally 9 o'clock. Someday I can come in and I can stay on a set schedule.
Yep, so it's basically easiest to make it whatever fits your schedule. So for you, if that is protein shakes, if that is putting everything into a Ninja blender and blending it up while you're on the road, that's what that is for you. Like those blenders they do come with, where you can screw it in at the top, so you can take multiple blenders with you throughout the day, and maybe that's how you eat your food. Okay, yeah, everybody's just a little bit different. You can also, there are some protein powders out there that you can bake with, so like pancakes is something I can eat cold, so I normally make a couple of pancakes, and if I'm going to be out and about, I just start eating pancakes cold, because it's easy, and you can put more protein into them.
And meal prepping, obviously. I'll say, like, guys, most of my protein comes from No Regrets. I get meat by the pound. You can get steak, salmon, chicken. Like, all of my protein comes from No Regrets, because their meat by the pounds are seasoned, it's cooked, it's packaged, saves you a lot of time, and it's pretty good.
The only thing I will say on your protein is I don't recommend going over 1.2 grams, because then we start hitting a point of you spending more money than you have to, right? Protein is our most expensive macro, and you don't really want to have to buy more if it's not doing any benefit for you.
So how much protein can you digest in an hour?
It varies from person to person. Yes. So most likely, if you've been in here for a while, your body is going to digest it a lot faster. It's just going to start utilizing everything and anything that it brings in.
Go ahead.
Okay, so from my understanding, which I came in late, how many calories we should be eating is my body weight times 14.
Yep.
Is that to maintain my weight, lose weight?
Yep, so that's maintaining. So say you want to lose weight. I would start with minusing 200 calories, but those calories are not going to ever come from your protein. I would first start with your fats. So lower your fats just a little bit, okay? Most women that are not menopausal, fats don't do us too much good at a higher end. Once you hit menopause, fats end up doing more good for you then. So it will change. Like I said, throughout life, your macros will switch where you start to eat more fats and less carbs, at least for females.
Subtract 200, that's how much I need to eat if I'm trying to lose weight.
Yep. But you will never take it away from your protein and start with your fats. Okay. Yep.
As far as meals, I know you feel like you personally not 5 meals a day for the average person that's doing CrossFit. How far in between should we be spacing?
Normally it's about 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours. Yep. After a while, once you start eating on a consistent basis, your body will start telling you that it's hungry, and you'll just automatically know that it's time to eat. Yep.
Going back to like the weighing yourself question, I used to weigh yourself for the same things whenever you wake up in the morning. How often do you weigh yourself?
Once a week.
Once a week.
Yep, and there's another thing, another caveat to that for women. If you are still have that, received that cycle, right? Your truest weight is going to be when it's done. So when you come off of that for the right after, don't just weigh yourself right after though. Weigh it on the same day. But that weight is going to be the most truest weight that you have for the month. So I do have one other thing, right? Everybody varies on person. We talked a little bit about fat loss. What about people that are hard gainers, right? I do have a couple of those athletes where they do have to plus up. So where do they start by plussing up, right? So most of them need to be eating 1.2 per pound of body weight in protein, but also their carbs need to come up sufficiently. If you are a hard gainer like Morgan, you have to be sick of eating. So, right, if you're somebody that gains fat really easily, you're going to be like, oh man, I'm a little hungry, but I have to wait, okay? Morgan has to be uncomfortably full all the time, okay? It's just the way it is. Unfortunately, her body utilizes foods extremely fast, and so she has to, but yeah, that's the only other thing I have. Any other questions? Yes.
So what do you think about like people who do like bulking and cutting and like, is that beneficial to you?
So in CrossFit, no, right? It depends on how much you're training and what you're training for. Like, so doing just 4 to 5 WODs a week, just stick with the regular stuff here. You start to add in training like running, weightlifting, then you need to start thinking about adding at least 25 grams of carbs per an extra session that you do. And then if it is weightlifting, adding another 25 grams of protein.
Because this is just spaced off that we're just doing
One workout at least 5 times, maybe 4 to 5 times a week. Yep. Yes.
So obviously most of us probably want to lean out a little bit. So what about some that want to add 5 to 10 pounds, but still stay lean but get stronger, but want to scale up a little bit?
To go up or down? Okay, so, right, making sure that they're at least hitting that 1.2 grams per pound of body weight in protein, right? And then after that, making sure that your carbs are going up as well. This is where it's going to be very difficult. You need to make sure you are weighing yourself at least once a week then to make sure that you are staying within those, because all of a sudden you'll see a drop on the scale and you'll realize without even thinking about it that you've been lacking in sleep. That means your carbs need to go up. Okay. Yes.
To put my mind at ease, can you explain why I eat carbs?
Why it's carbs? It's the most efficient fuel source. Yep, you will use it first. It comes out first. Yep. Yep.
The way they teach us in
It's
school
so
is
bad.
like you'd rather your body burn your carbs first than burn your protein because you can't get muscle if you don't protein. So if you eat carbs, your body burns your carbs off and then use your protein to get strong.
Yep.
It's not what we've been taught.
It is not. Yep.
Chicklets tell you carbs are bad.
Yep.
Young age, they do. They do.
Yes.
How about the race days, like when you're not working out?
So race day, like so the day before, if you're doing a race, your calories should stay the same, maybe go up in carbs, but no, not up in protein, up in carbs only. Okay?
So I did the numbers, I'm 320 times 14, it was like 4,400.
Now, like I said, that's something you have to build up to. If you haven't been eating it, you have to build up to it, or else you're just going to put it all on as fat.
Unless what?
And also, you're suggesting these things with a very, very active schedule.
Yes.
You need to be working out 5-6 days a week. Say you're on vacation, you don't work out all week.
Yep.
Do you adjust these, or you keep it the same?
Yes. Yes. So you do adjust these. I would adjust your carbs. Protein is something you will never ever touch. You should still always consume the same amount of protein. Your carbs is what you can bring down, I would say by, let me see, 50 to 75 grams. And then I would leave your fats alone.
This time of year, we know that this is New Year's resolutions and all that stuff. For those that have not ever gone into this phase, how long do the numbers say to give yourself time before you really start to get frustrated? You know, like, you see a lot of people get these New Year's and a month later, they go, damn it, this isn't working. And they just abandon it all.
Guys, it could take 6 months for your body to see any drop in on the scale. It shouldn't take 6 months for you to see any physical changes, but also too, if you're taking pictures of yourself at least once a week and you don't see any changes, send them to me. I will find them. I do it all the time. You cannot see it, I will see it for you, okay? But yes, it'll be about 6 months before people really truly get to.
What if, is it bad, like, because I'm gonna be real, when I go on vacation, this like will go to the wind for a week. Is that like really bad?
It is not, okay. So if you start, so say you started this month and next month, at the end of the month, you're going on vacation. You got super good at this, everything's dialed in and you're ready to go. That week, you just let everything fall to the wind and you come back and you pick it right up. Everything, you are not going to gain so much weight that you lost all of your progress. What's going to actually happen is your body is going to relax and it's going to come back and just pick it up to wherever you left off. Oh, I remember this. We train, we get food. Let's go. So.
Is there, so you mentioned you drink a protein shake before you go to bed. Obviously, you do it after workouts at the gym. So, and then talking about, obviously, it's probably the most expensive way to get protein. Is to suggest, like, is there any benefit to like 2 protein shakes a day versus just one if you can get it and meat? Is too much? Is there too much supplement?
So there is too much of a supplement, right? Because at some point our bodies need nutrients from something else. Like meat gives us more nutrients than just the protein, right? But if that is the only way that you can get it in, it's better than not doing it. Yep.
What about like water weight?
Do what?
Like water weight?
Yeah.
Like I hold on to like a lot of water weight, so I'm correct that issue.
Yeah, so as soon as you dial in your nutrition and you have a fitness schedule, it will all of a sudden water weight won't be a thing. Yep. Also to make sure you're taking creatine. Nobody in here has an issue taking creatine, right?
I don't take nothing.
Okay, well you need to start taking creatine. I know there was a issue with taking it back in the day. People were like, "Oh, you're gonna lose your liver or something." I'm like,
I take the gummies. It tastes really good.
no, the creatine and yes. Now guys, another thing is too. This does not include your vegetables, right? Any green vegetable is not included in your carbs. So if you eat those, I'm not including that in your carbs here.
So don't
okay?
count those calories.
Don't count those calories. Yes. You will lose. You basically. So fruit's different. Fruit counts. Okay.
Okay, that's tea.
There is a difference between now. 1 minute for me. On vegetables, guys, it's green vegetables. Okay. So if you're eating carrots, corn, that stuff will count. There's a difference between green vegetables. Green vegetables is kind of like a freebie. Yeah.
Stuff like you're hungry, just like eat some spinach.
There you go.
Got it.
Okay, cool. Healthy choice. Green vegetables don't count.
I like vegetables, but
Are there any foods or supplements you eat for your joints?
So the thing is I've never really had an issue with my joints once I dialed in my nutrition. Yes. So, and you're talking to somebody that used to have, I was supposed to have knee surgery when I was 27. I did not have knee surgery at 27. Yeah, because I was overweight for so long, my knees were, but I've built up the muscles around my knees so well that it's...
You attribute that to muscle growth in your diet?
Do what?
You said you didn't have surgery and you attribute that to your diet?
To losing the weight, yeah, because I had just been overweight for so long and standing up for so many years.
The muscles that you built?
Sorry, I was trying to hear you what you said about the fruit.
So fruit counts towards your carbs. Yep. Also, guys, too, when I say, when you think about this, everybody love peanut butter? Okay. So peanut butter is a fat. I don't care how much protein is in it, it's a fat. So you don't count that towards your protein. So this is why I have moved very much to weighing things, not weighing things out. I measure things by cups because I don't care how much it weighs. 40 grams for me of a cup of rice, cooked rice, is 40 grams. So you slice that in half, that's 20 grams if you're only eating half a cup.
What did that say about the peanut butter? How many you can tell her that doesn't count species?
That's funny.
Any other questions?
I heard you tell him you can't just like go like straight into this if you haven't been eating enough. Like, so would you say? I'm really close to my protein like right now. I need to like add about 20 grams, but like I know my carbs like are not where they need to be. So like, would you suggest scaling that first going into it?
Yep. So do your protein first, 2 weeks, then start with the carbs.
Okay.
Yep.
Is there such a thing as like bad carbs or bad protein or anything like that? Because there's a lot to eat in this world, and what if I just eat like something that has so much carbs and I'm like, hit it, but then
So that's a lot of times, right? It's kind of like a rule I have for myself. I love mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is not good for you, right? All right. I only have it when somebody else makes it for me. Because I love oven baked mac and cheese, right? We get that at Thanksgiving with some brisket, right? I will never make that for myself for my carbs, right? But that is me. If you like to eat it, maybe you eat it once a week.
but then why can't you just eat that all the time?
Because it comes with other trans fats that are bad for you. Like, right? You can find, there are no bad carbs. You would have to look on the internet for a friendlier version, a cleaner version of mac and cheese, but it wouldn't taste the same, right? So I want it, like, I just use mac and cheese as an example because it's not something I eat on the daily basis. I use it once a year, or when somebody makes it for me. It's not the cleanest, and it's never gonna taste like that if you make it in the clean version. It's just not gonna taste the same. So if you like something like pizza,
I was about to say that.
pizza has no benefit in anything. It is the worst one that you could ever eat, right? But what you can do is you can have, what's up? What? Stuffed crust. That's a lot of fat in that.
I think something important to bring up with the carbs, Kevin, is like, do they have sugars, unnecessary sugars? Like donuts have a lot of carbs, but they're filled with sugars. And carb and sugars, I think, is the worst combo that you can put
So
together.
it's a really good way to put that. Yeah.
I heard white potatoes are bad, like roasted.
Do sugars count towards carbs?
So this is the thing, I don't do sugars in anything, but I also try to keep my food as clean as I possibly can. The only time I normally get candy is after workout. If I need something really fast, I'm on my way to the gym, I shower, I have to go to work, I pop the recommended amount of candy to hit 25 grams of carbs, my protein shake, and then I'm off. But I will never, ever eat for a meal 6 ounces of protein and a handful of gummy clusters, ever. It just won't ever happen.
So you don't eat sugar in your diet?
No, I do. Yep. But it's normally natural. Yep. Like it comes in the fruit that you eat.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you're not hitting a goal in your workout, and let's just say it's diet related, what would it be that you need to up? Like say you don't have the powers you had 2 months ago, or 2 weeks ago. Is it a protein thing, is it a carb thing? What would you up to change it to get a better diet for to lift more?
That would be depending on what you're actually eating. So like I wouldn't be able to know unless I have a log of actually what you ate. But like I said, just start by tracking it. Go with the protein first and then the carbs. Yeah.
So if it's not natural sugar, that's what artificial sugar is? Now, that's probably something like personally that I have to like cut back on, obviously it's in everything just about, but if we already have so much like artificial sugar that's like in our diet, what should we like be knocking that down to? Like, is that supposed to be 0 and then just natural sugars? Or like what? I feel like artificial sugars in a lot of things.
It is in a lot of things, but like I would think about it this way. Just try to eat as clean as you can, right? Single ingredient foods, rice, potatoes, like I don't, if you get instant rice that's like comes like with a whole, like it comes in the little packs, normally that comes with something. If you just read the back of the label, it's going to have all these words that you can't even pronounce.
Whenever you're out and about and you don't have your meal prep or you gotta eat, what's your go-to, like, restaurants around town or like a grocery store?
Well, so I don't limit anything for myself. So I will eat anywhere that I go. What I do try to do is figure out something that fits within my macros, right? So most of us know, well, maybe most of you don't know, so this is a good point, about your thumb right here is about 15 grams of fat. So if you're supposed to be getting 15 grams of fat for this meal, you can think about that. I also think too, when I go out to eat, that fat is already in it when they cook it, because they cook it in whatever. So unless you know exactly what they cook it in, just assume your fats are already accounted for. So you go out, you get a burger, maybe you eat just the burger and not the fries, right? Or you have 5 and then you push the plate away and that's enough, right? Between the bun, the patty that was 6 ounces, and then you have a couple fries and you're good, right? Satisfied all macros. For your protein, depending on how much you're getting in, right? Mine's normally 6 ounces. I like to think like my hand coming out to about here is about is about 6 ounces. So I try to get something that's within that, or get a steak, because they normally tell you exactly how many ounces it is, yeah.
Is Chipotle burrito bad?
I love Chipotle. Yes. So the only issue is that it has a lot of carbs in it because it gives you so much rice, right? So the rice and everything is in it. So I normally go with a bowl just because I can figure out how much rice I need to eat from that.
I've tried the bowl before, but it's like 3 hours later, like out of energy, like about to fall out.
Maybe that's because you're not eating enough carbs, so maybe the burrito is perfect for you.
Burrito,
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions?
Are there any apps or anything you use to kind of help track your calories?
So I used to use MyFitnessPal. That's the only thing that I know, but I don't track anymore, so I don't, yeah. I do have clients that put theirs into the app that I use, just so I can see what they're eating. But at the same time, right, also remember with any app that you get, if you put peanut butter in there, it is going to count it towards your protein, and you don't want to do that. Yeah. So if you have ever read on the back of the label that 2 tablespoons of peanut butter is a serving of protein, and a serving of peanut butter is 15 grams of fat. So most women, right, or at least me, I need 60 grams. Mine's split between 4 meals. I need 15 grams. I get 2 tablespoons if I want, every single meal. Now, peanut butter, I will say, make sure you actually do measure it out, level it out, because a big heaping scoop of peanut butter is not going to be a serving, okay? And if you eat a whole jar of peanut butter, I promise you, you will not feel great the next day.
Do you have any recommendations on sweets? Like everybody craves sweets at the end of the day, like they'll eat dinner and like, oh, I want something sweet. I have a couple of recommendations, but do you have any things that you would recommend?
So just finding ways that you can make what you like and make it in a healthier way, if that is what you like. I also use Core Nutritional's Pro protein powder, and I put it in my oatmeal, and it tastes like, there's a sugar cookie one out, and it tastes like you're eating a sugar cookie in my oatmeal. So Core Nutritionals, yeah, like any of their flavors, like you can bake with the Pro, so you can bake it into anything. So my pancakes, I normally use that kind of protein powder in my pancakes. Just remember, it does have to be some kind of concentrated whey protein, so don't just trust that any concentrated protein is gonna, I know for a fact because I've used this company for years, and I pretty much, if you don't like the flavor of it, you bake it into something and you don't like the flavor of it, I will buy it from you because I like it that much. I promise you, I have yet to buy something from someone, so I can guarantee you that brand is, if you like something sweet. But if you have any recommendations.
My go-to, guys, is the Oikos vanilla yogurt and peanut butter. That's where I get most of my fats at night, is peanut butter and yogurt.
Yeah.
Mix it together, put some strawberries on top of it, maybe some honey, go crazy.
I recommend, guys, like if you guys find something like that, just put it in the No Ceilings member group and just share it with everyone, right? Because this is something I don't do because I am a robot and I eat the same thing every day. It hasn't changed in 5 years. Nope. So I have, it might happen to you. I have turned a page where I would rather perform better the next morning than eat something delicious. So
you don't ever have like cheat meals, cheat days?
So I don't ever call them that. I go out with my friends and I enjoy myself.
I'm just trying to find like a good balance because I feel like sometimes I just go so hard and then I burn out. Like I'm trying to stop flip-flopping. Like, I mean, a balance between eating and
so I would
doing
just schedule it. This day I'm gonna go out with my friends. I'm gonna have
so
fun.
do you still count it in when you're eating like that, or what do you count it in?
I just let it go.
You just let it go.
This is one meal. It's not gonna kill me. And if you perform better the next day,
one.
Yep. And you might actually perform better the next day.
Sometimes, like, I'll just get, and then I want to, I don't know,
My tips on that is if you are following something like this and you have your macros set out and you've eaten your protein for the day, then yes, enjoy yourself, have that cheat meal if you will. Like, it's better to have the cheat meal with your macros already in. You've had your protein in for the day versus you just haven't done anything for the day and then you're going to go out and act crazy and
like fill yourself with the good stuff first before you go.
That, and then don't let it stop you from just moving on. Like the next day, it's like, all right, I'm back on track. Don't let it carry on into a cheat week.
And like that's the same thing, right, guys, as holidays. Don't ever save calories, right? So even if you're going to go out for the night and this is not a holiday, you're just going out and you're going to have a meal and don't save any of your calories. Just know it's going to be a night. Come into the gym the next day.
I'm sorry, I could not hear you. What was the name of that protein powder?
Core Nutritionals.
Core Nutritionals?
Yep. I'll post it in the Facebook group if you guys want, and that way you guys can see the link and everything. Yep. I guess I should too. Shameless plug. That's gonna save you some money. Yes.
I was gonna ask it. I heard you, and I was literally gonna ask it. Okay, so I have off and on been taking creatine, but I haven't been taking it for like a while. Like, should we take I think it's like 20 grams for like the first 2 weeks?
So it depends on what type of creatine you have. So follow the label on the back. Some of them do have a loading phase where you have to take it so much. I do know Core Nutritionals, you just start taking it starts at 5 grams and that is it. It'll build up over time, but some brands will not do that. So it just depends on what brand you have.
Does it matter when you take the creatine?
No, as long as you get it once a day. Now, it is better if you get it on a schedule. So whether it's right in the morning, right in the afternoon, or you know exactly when you're going to take it, I would just try and get it to the same time every day.
When it comes to supplements, obviously, a lot of us take Core Nutritionals or use like Jocko or certain other brands. Is there something they should be looking for or like third-party tested when it comes to supplements or things that they should be looking for the ingredients?
For any other brand besides Core Nutritionals, I would be looking to make sure that it is third-party tested, right? Because you never know exactly what they're putting in there. Core Nutritionals is backed by the fact that it is a natural bodybuilding company. So the way they test their stuff is that there are natural bodybuilders that get tested all the time, and they have not come up with a drug in the system yet. So
what are some like mindsets you've had to develop, or just going into this?
Yeah, so that took a long time, but it's something along the lines of like, I had to remember it's one meal. It's not going to kill me, right? I can enjoy time with my friends. We don't know how long we have on the earth, right? Make sure you enjoy yourself as well as bettering yourself. That just took a lot of time, and there's a lot of lessons that you'll just randomly start learning as you do your nutrition. And
well, going back to the supplement thing, one thing I just thought about, so for example, like Thorne, right? Thorne's super expensive. They pride themselves on, it's tested and it's the cleanest, right? So you take that, right? Let's say we've got a $70 jug of protein versus a different company that is third-party tested, like you said, that's $30. Is there any benefit in the $70 option versus the third? Like, is there anything else? My question is, am I wasting my money? Thorne is very expensive.
yes.
I just like the taste of it.
So my thing is I go based off the taste, right? As long as it's third-party tested, it's on a website, they get everything tested, there is no difference. I just like the way that I know that it tastes, and my protein powder, at least in shakes, only goes in water. I don't put it in milk, so it has to taste good from the get-go. So
going back to cheat meals or cheat order.
yep.
Is there like a limit to how many that we should be doing? 'Cause most people do it like once a week. Is that like okay? Or would you do it less?
Like it's truly up to what you want it to be. So I would say once a week is where you should probably draw the line if you want to continue to see benefit. Now, if you have functions and stuff that you can't get out of, I always bring my food to those functions. So yes, there will be times where I'm eating cold chicken and rice while everybody's having a pizza. It truly is what you want to make it.
But once a week should not set me back.
You're right.
Okay.
Anything else?
Okay, I have one more question, I'm sorry. So earlier you were talking about peanut butter and you were like, some women count it towards this, but it needs to be counted towards this. I just feel like silly asking, like, how do I know what to, because I log it into my fitness, like you said, but it goes for everything. Like, how do I know what it's counting towards, what to count my food towards as far as that?
So that is very hard to, I have a list of foods that I use, and I only pick foods off of that list of foods, right? You're going to have to look at the food label, and it's a lot of math.
So just whatever it is the most, like if it has the most protein, I need to count that towards my protein, or like whatever.
Now, they count towards double. The issue is when they start counting towards two different macros because of the fact of how much there is in them. So eggs is one of them that would count towards your fats and your proteins because there is a great amount of both in an egg. When you're thinking about peanut butter, like I use it as an example because I know the nutrition label in my head, it's like I can see it as a picture. It's like 1 gram.
Yes,
or 3 grams
okay.
per,
So that's why I said I feel
per
silly
serving
asking, but
size.
okay, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
but there are 7.5 to 8 grams per a serving size, per half a serving in peanut butter. So that's going to, of course, be the one that you count it towards.
Okay.
Yep.
And then, so speaking about, so I've been, like the MyFitnessPal when I did it and set up like forever ago, I've been like on and off, but when it like prescribed it to me, it said, it started off at like 1,900 something calories a day. But like as I've lost, like it's at 1,795 now. But when I did the math with that, it's like, well, if I subtract 200, it's like 2,200. And I know you said earlier, you're like, you don't want to make like a huge jump because then my body's gonna like store it as fat. So like how much should I be jumping?
So I wouldn't go by a calorie jump. I would go by a protein
Like
or a
level
carb
that
or a
out
fat
first.
jump. Yeah.
Okay.
So we want to fill proteins first. So I weigh 165. If I'm not eating 165 grams of protein, that's the one I need to do first. Right. The issue where we get with using trackers and everything is it gets so detailed.
Yeah.
You don't need to be that detailed because of the fact that you're in here putting in the work.
Yeah.
Right. You'll see it in Sugar WOD when you start to realize, oh, hey, my deadlift went up by 30 pounds this cycle. Like,
I do feel a lot better, and that's why I like on and off use it, because sometimes it's one of those things that gets in my head and it makes me burn out. But I want to be more intentional, like, about this. So I just, I think it's the macros I need to look at more than anything.
So definitely recommend, maybe you write down on a piece of paper, you figure it all out for yourself, you split it into your meals. Also too, keep in track, like your protein, you're probably gonna split up into 6 meals just because of the fact that you have your 4 regular meals, plus you might need a pre and then that bedtime shake. So you might be technically eating 6 times a day, but only 4 of them are full on. There's veggies, carbs, protein, fats in the entire thing. Okay.
Just for, one thing that happens during that, I know pretty much everybody in here is probably at least that one friend that does not understand why we do it here and doesn't really have to work out. The hardest thing for me is the mental side of telling these folks, I don't need the pizza. And then it's like, what would you give them advice? What kind of advice would you give them that when you go out, I mean, you got little, have this pizza, have this beer, have this, whatever. What would be your advice for that? Never had that.
Cool. Because that's a hard one for me to. That's a hard thing for me to say because all of my friends in here understand that if I'll eat what I want. If I don't want to eat it, I'm not going to eat it. Right? You can. Yep.
I'm pretty sure there's somebody that's like.
Yep. And if they go to the gym, I'll see them in the gym, and I'll see them laying on the floor when that workout was super easy for me. Yep. But most of my friends do understand, right? It comes back, and this is what I didn't want to get into, but like it comes back to who you surround yourself with, right? If those people understand that you're going and bettering yourself for your family, they're gonna support you, and they're gonna be like, yep.
Like that? Should your clients be working out like more than once a week?
Yes.
So if I'm doing 1 workout a day, should it be a certain amount? And then if I'm doing 2,
So are you talking about running?
Yeah.
So on the days you run, you should consume 25 grams of carbs prior to running.
In excess of my
what your maintenance of what this is? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You say that again.
When you run, you need to eat 25 grams of carbs prior to running, if it's not already factored in here.
I think they're like 30.
You would say like a fast absorbing carb, banana.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Banana, dates, bread, jelly. Yep. Like even as bad as it sounds, like sourdough bread is my favorite, and whenever I can get it, I get it. But that and jelly is the greatest pre-workout. I love it.
The amount of carbs change with the mileage changes.
Yes.
So like every 3 miles I need to have 25 grams of carbs or something like that if I'm going on a longer run.
It would depend. It would really depend on you and how your body absorbs it.
Okay.
Yep. Anything else?
Something that I noticed, like when you've been working with Reagan, everything she eats is from the earth. Like, can you kill it? Can you grow it? It's honestly that simple.
Yep.
Protein from meat, your carbs are some type of fruits, vegetables, even wheat. Like we're talking about sourdough bread. You can grow all those things. You can kill all those things. Like to simplify it all, that's what I think about.
Yep.
Especially when I go out to eat. It's like looking at the menu. Can I kill this thing or can I grow this thing on the earth?
Yep. Yep. The less it has to be processed, the better it is for you. Also, too, we are in the South, right? There are a lot of farms around here. I definitely recommend maybe going in on quarter of a cow with someone, half a cow with someone, save it in your deep freezer. Yeah. It tastes different, completely different.
I don't ever double up on my workouts, but I have ran for not really the running, but I would like to get back into it. But I would not, like I said, I wouldn't double up. I would just do CrossFit one day and then run the next day.
Yep.
So on the days that I'm just solely running, like just continue following this.
Yep.
Okay, and
Yep.
then like still do the 25 grams of carbs before my run.
Yep. It is very difficult, guys, for me to exactly give you answers on all of this because it is very specific to each of you, right? But normally 25 grams of carbs before your workouts is going to be ideal. What's up?
That's 2 months applesauce packets or 1 large,
As far as the clients that you help with their nutrition, what's like a big challenge you help them overcome?
The mental side of things. Some of them do have an issue with weighing themselves every day. They get stuck on the scale and they want to see the scale go down. The issue is like I always, like that's the nice thing about having a coach. It's not only the coaches in here are going to be able to see it for you too. How much did your deadlift go up? How have you been performing? How have you been sleeping? Because these are the questions I ask them. I'm like, okay, but have you been sleeping? Yes. My son's sleeping all the way through the night and I actually got to sleep 8 hours. Okay. Well, how about we give a couple more weeks of that and watch your waist go down? Because it'll go down, I promise.
So if you're eating well, you should be sleeping better?
Is what?
So if you're eating well, you should be sleeping better. If we're struggling with our sleep, that tells me something's going on with
It
my
could
eating.
possibly be nutrition related. It could be stress related. So you have to narrow it down for yourself. But the easiest way to start with that is by doing a controlled experiment, right? Only changing one variable at a time. So if you always work these hours to these hours and you start eating more, you're doing this, and then all of a sudden your sleep gets better, that's what it was. Your sleep's not getting better. Maybe it is something stressful, right? Unfortunately, with kids, I feel like there's always that stress there. We all got stress. But we can try and eliminate it as much as we possibly can. Anything else? No? All right, guys. Well, it did end up being an hour, a little over an hour. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you guys ever have any questions, just Rebuilt by Carrie on Instagram if you don't have me already. It might take me a little bit, but I'll reply and I'll let you know exactly what you need to do. Okay. Cool.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely.